Hey guys, Sister Lisa here. So today I decided to just talk to you guys a bit about um, budgeting and handling money and things like that. Because as you know, like in my previous video, I talked about just giving honor and glory to God for finally being credit card debt free. And so I know that, oh, if it wasn't for the grace of God, it would have never happened. And He gave us a lot of the tools in which, of how basically to figure out of digging myself out of the pit that I had thrown myself in. So through that, we did a lot of budgeting and just like looking at what exactly we have to do and how we're going to do it. And I thank the Lord above so much for just his incredible mercy and grace and just helping me, seriously just helping me to get out of a place that I never thought that I would get out of for a while, for a long time. Because I thought about it and it was getting to the point where I was like, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna get out of this. And like, how did I even get here again? And so a lot of times you realize that sometimes is like quicksand, right? It only takes that one wrong step and you find yourself just sliding all the way down. And the more that you fight is like the deeper that you end up going. So today I just wanted to talk to you guys about budgeting. So one of the main things in budgeting that you want to do is, of course, you want to get yourself a piece of pen and paper. And, you want to sit down and really think about just like all your financial obligations and things like that. So first thing you want to do is you want to write down all the bills that you would have for that month, and those are the bills that come up every single month. So if you have credit cards, so those would be the credit card bills, of course, rent or mortgage. If you have car insurance payment, stuff like that. So you'd write all these down. Then you would move on to writing down like your expenses, and those could include your phone bill, your transportation, food, if you have a gym membership, laundry expenses, anything that you can possibly think of that you spend money on, write those down. Then of course there's the miscellaneous aisle, which goes if you are female who likes to get her hair done and nails done and stuff like that, those would go under miscellaneous. So you want to make sure that you write all these things down, and of course you can't forget to write down your income, because how else you're gonna factor in paying for all of these things. And we know that in all things, you want to pray about it and see where the Lord leads and show you how exactly you are to do it and things like that. Because we know that in one of the main things why people budget is they want to see if it's not only if they could pay their bills, but they want to see if it's possible to squeeze out even a little bit of something, a little change here and there to put away as, in savings, because you definitely want to save. And when we look into Luke 14:28, it says, "For which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?" So if you're planning anything that's like financial, if you want to go on vacation, if you want to buy a new car, or I know a car, right? Car just came to me. But yeah, if you see a cute bag in the store, you want to buy it, or you want to get a new sneakers or something like that, you definitely want to make sure that you can afford it, because you don't want to have to take away from something that's important, like paying your rent or something like that, to buy something that might can wait. So you definitely want to look into that. Also, Proverbs 13:11 states, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. So don't worry about, oh, I only have $20 to save, or I only have $5. It doesn't matter. It's a start. It's something. Put it down, and make that commitment not to spend it. Because before you know it, $5 turns into 10, and 10 turns into 15, and so on and so forth. And before you know it, you're like, oh, wow, I saved like $2,000, and you would have never thought that it would have gotten to that point if you had spent that $5 on something that you definitely didn't need to spend it on. So we definitely want to look into that. Also, we know that as I've stated in previous videos, the Bible talks about let no debt remain outstanding, and it's reiterated in Romans 13 verse 8 when it says, owe no one anything. That's it. You don't want to owe anyone anything. The only person that you should ever owe anything is the Lord, and you just owe him your devotion and your love, because he sent his son and to die for us. And so we've been bought. And so that's the only debt that you should ever have, ever. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get so caught up in just like this world and all the flash and the pretty things and stuff like that. And we forget that, hey, this life is temporary. It's so temporary. And even in Ecclesiastes, where, Solomon talks about everything just being vanity, like it's here today and it's gone tomorrow, and sometimes we don't even really get to enjoy it. And sometimes we see something that's like, for us females especially, well, let's not say us, let me talk about me. For me, sometimes I see something in the store and it's like, oh, that's so cute, and of course my flesh is like, you have to have it, and so I buy it, and it ends up in my closet just sitting there like months, and you would have never thought that would happen, because when you saw it on the shelf, you just had to have it because you're like, I'm gonna wear it, it's pretty, I'm gonna wear it. And then it's there in your closet and you're like, okay, so I just spent $20-$30 on this dress, pants, whatever it is, for nothing, and so these are things that we need to guard ourselves against, because once again, we look in Proverbs 13:22, and it says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the sinner's wealth is laid up for the righteous. So we want to make sure that, hey, we are gonna enjoy our life, yes, but one, all glory goes to God, and two, you want to make sure that you're not overspending to the point where you don't have anything to leave to your kids, you know what I'm saying? And as it says, not just your kids, but your grandkids, you know what I'm saying? That's where we want to be. So in budgeting, we want to make sure that everything is laid out and all the costs match up, and if there's any place where a few dollars can be squeezed out here and there, you definitely want to put it aside for that rainy day. And it might not be your rainy day, but it might be your kids' rainy day, or you might be able to help a neighbor or a friend or whoever the case may be. But definitely budgeting is such an awesome tool when it comes to just looking at your money and where it's going, because a lot of times we get our paycheck and we're like, wait a minute, I just had it, it's gone now, and you don't even really realize where exactly the money went to. So when you have everything written down, you can go back and say, oh, okay, so I spent $2 here for this, and I spent $5 here for that, and that's why I don't have any money in my pocket right now. But it definitely shows you. And sometimes whenever we have it, because everyone has like direct deposit now, so you just go in and you swipe your card, and and before you know it, it's gone, and you have no idea what happened. So definitely write everything down, keep track of it, and before you know it, hey, you might just be a millionaire. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and check out my other videos. Subscribe, and please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. God bless. Have a good night.